la 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 la. La 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 la. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. Coffee. Daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. From right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports, located in Rockford, Michigan. You can find them online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Good group over there. Fine selection of ATVs, UTVs, side-by-sides, lawn equipment, e-bikes, Yamaha golf carts. That is Michigan's newest distributor of Yamaha golf carts. You can find them at impactpowersportsmi.com. Stuff to take out on Silver Lake sand dunes and go flying through someone's windshield. That's all true. I'm not going to lie to you. I am going to get by on this show on instinct alone. Instinct and pure raw talent. Because while scanning for things to talk about, there has been a remarkably low amount of things to talk about. And I don't know if that has to do with the fact that the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, is going on and that's dominating the headlines or what. And I have had no interest in that. I don't pay attention to that shit. Chris points out, EZ, did you see Sports Illustrated pick the Lions to win the Super Bowl? The cover of the magazine is awesome. I just sent it on X. Oh, no. This is not great. Oh, I don't like that type of pressure. Let's take a look at this. There's the cover. Football Preview 2024. Now, is this like the type of thing where Sports Illustrated puts out a cover in every different area that they're in with the local sports teams on it? The resurgent team, the resurgent Lions drive to revive. Right team, right town, right time. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, and Penei Sewell. Yeah, I don't like this. I liked it better when the Lions were under the radar. It's concerning to me. Anyway, more on that as time passes. Maize and Blue says Penei Sewell was injured yesterday. Yeah, that's right. He walked off the field with an injured foot. I'm hoping that they're just like lying and he's not really injured. And they're just doing that so that he doesn't have to play the final game, which is what I would do. With all my good players, I would make something up that someone got hurt so that they don't have to get out on the field and then risk injury in one of those stupid preseason games. J. Quill 17 says the Lions suck. They are definitely not going to be Super Bowl bound. Sorry for being a hater. Well, don't apologize for being a hater. Saying sorry is the worst thing you could do. You got to root for somebody else, probably the Bears or the Packers or somebody like that. Well, they didn't suck last year. They were really good last year, and I'm hoping that they're very good this year. I mean, last year I said they were going to the Super Bowl. They almost did. Yes. So I am excited about the football season. Make no mistake. The regular season starts not this weekend, but the next weekend. Jay Quill roots for the Denver Broncos, so I really can't say shit. Kenny says, I just want Derrick Henry to have a good year. I don't care much otherwise this year. I didn't even know who that guy plays for now. Does he still play for the Titans? You got to cheer for the Lions if you're a fan of EZ. Yesterday, and by the way, getting back to what I was saying, seriously, I have zero actual news stories for you. So this is probably going to be the worst podcast you have ever heard in your life. I do have some things. I want to read to you, but this thing might only be like 15 minutes long. I take it back. I'm going to reach out to Kyle from a company that used to advertise here on the show in a short while. That always goes well. We always have a fun time talking. So we'll see what we can do. No promises. No promises whatsoever. But yesterday it was a Big Fraud Wednesday where we get together in the evening on Patreon and we do a couple more podcasts. On the schedule yesterday was another edition of Who Are These Free Beers, where Ben Glaze and myself review current episodes of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. Now, in the show, I did break down Greg's big announcement about how much sex he's had with Coleman's ex-wife. There was a lot of laughs in that segment and a lot of cringing. So out of character on that show, where you have things like, hey, coming up, best fair food. We'll give you a product. We'll tell you if it goes in the fridge. How to load the dishwasher properly. And how much I fucked my wife. Like, that's how weird it is. I mean, I am not one to shy away from making a joke about sex. Typically for me, it's about my broken penis, which I've talked to you about that. I have an enlarged prostate, and that's not good. So they're monitoring it, making sure it doesn't become cancerous. But in the meantime, they give me some very, very strong medicines which shrink my prostate and then make it so that I have no more jizz. Mason Blue says, I think you're just jealous, EZ. Not really. So we talked about that, had a good time. But I think the real gem in the show was when my favorite person on that show, and I hope yours too, the much maligned Kelly Cheese. And, you know, as I've said many times, I am a bona fide fan. I love Kelly Cheese. In a man's game, she has become the most interesting person on that show. Now, I mean, overall, that's not saying a whole lot because of who else is there. Literally everyone there is either not qualified to be on a microphone or just intensely boring. And in some cases, both, like Steve. So I find her to be very interesting. The things she talks about are all, they're polarizing. Love it or hate it, but it's still interesting. And she's funny. My God, is she funny. Now, not all of you agree with this assessment. But this is all despite a odd type of tic that she has, and I've called it a disability. I don't know if it's necessarily it is disabling. It does sound like she's disabled to some degree. She has these very odd moments where her energy makes her voice go in weird places that actually make most people wrinkle up their face and potentially throw themselves out of tall buildings. And I don't know if she realizes it and realizes the power that she has with this. But I've heard it every time, and I went like, God damn it. As much as I like you, for this moment in time that I'm hearing this, I want to bury you in the backyard. That's how bad it is. Jeremy, who sent me an email earlier, and I'll read it in a bit if I have your permission. Very nice email. He wrote, how do you feel about Tommy? I think he's still very new, but he's weird enough that I think he might have potential, provided he gets out of that show. I think Tommy and Kelly and Maitland need to leave. They need to spread their wings and go out and do their own show. Maybe not even in radio. I think that they should go out and put their content out on their own. I say Maitland with a great big asterisk because of how bad she is at this career choice. But I think she could be an excellent behind-the-scenes person. I don't think she should be on a microphone ever. Tommy is much more qualified to talk on the radio than she is. She's horrendous. I'm saying this from a professional standpoint. There is nothing personal between me and any of these people except Greg. This is the unfortunate moment that I was telling you about. Bear with the static if you have it. Again, you know me.
I like this when I asked this question on social media at FBHW Show on Facebook, and this one says, being able to do math in your head, like any kind of math, but never being able to say the problem and the solution out loud.
Like so you always know the world's greatest minds are working on it. You're like,
I know this.
Okay, what the fuck was that? Someone last night made the comment, this is why Ross left her. This is dreadful. Let's listen to the whole comment again.
I like this when I asked this question on social media at FBHW Show on Facebook, and this one says, being able to do math in your head, like any kind of math, but never being able to say the problem and the solution out loud.
Like so you always know the world's greatest minds are working on it. You're like,
I know this.
It's actually difficult for me to put into words how that makes me feel. But it's devastating. Bob says, dreadful? Nah, it's perfect. Jeremy says it was so clean, too. Nobody talking over her, just perfectly there to pull it. Yeah, that, I don't know how that I talked about this yesterday on Big Fraud Wednesday, how they don't hone in on that and pull it themselves and then have fun with it at her expense. That is, pretty much a ritual around there. Greg gets made fun of when he says his fucked up shit that he always says, when he changes the words around and, all that stuff. I don't understand why they don't spend gobs of time making fun of that. Just simply asking the question, hey, what's going through your head when you make that noise? Do you know how bad that sounds? Because I think she's when she's just talking, she's got a great voice. But when she lets her guard down, she's like it's like the energy just shoots out of her. All these weird sounds. She's like a broadcaster's version of Jean Grey, fucking Dark Phoenix going on there. Jimmy says it sounds like a flock of geese. The look on Lonely Nick number 2 when I played it yesterday. He wrinkled up his nose in the oddest way. He was like, what? When that hit. I actually saw his face change. He looked like he was all mellow and having a nice time enjoying the show. And then he was like, what the fuck just happened? So, all right. I think that in playing it yesterday, it needed to be heard here too. Bob says they don't make fun of her because they know that she'd verbally destroy them. Well, I don't know about that. I think she'd get upset. And the only way I describe this is a disability. It sounds like she's disabled, which is frankly hard to argue. That is an ugly fucking noise. My God. I want to get to some emails here. We'll call it the email grab bag. Thank you to Jason and Jeremy for writing in. Jason Bennett is kind of like a puzzle. He writes things in this. He's like kind of like a weirdo. He's like a poverty version of Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poverty. Easy, catching up on the podcast, and I thought I would comment on a couple items. I'm sorry that you are having issues with the RV, but it gives me ammo with Stacy. He is dating Stacy Bobasi. We were looking seriously at getting a nice 30-foot trailer at the Camper and RV show because she really wants one. I'd rather just stay in a nice hotel room and not have the headaches of an RV. They are nice. I just don't want hassles. I prefer to be a hassle to others. Yeah, if you don't want a hassle, because even if you have a travel trailer that you pull, a 30-foot travel trailer that you pull behind your vehicle, though, I mean, I can't say for sure that you won't. I mean, I was just talking to somebody the other day who was that friend of Adam Balboa's. He's got a travel trailer and has had nothing but problems with it. Okay? So there is a high degree for hassle. My first thing I bought, no hassles. This one, obviously tons of hassles. Lots of hassles. And especially post-COVID, a lot more hassles. We talked about that yesterday. For some reason, the classes of RVs every year since COVID have been a huge pile of shit. And some are speculating that the manufacturers, when they laid off all their employees and then brought people back, something changed in quality control. Yeah, also the idea of if you were to go and you have a trailer, let's say, don't forget, if you want to go away for a weekend, and you want to leave on Friday. Whereas if you have a hotel in Mackinac City or something, you just jump in the car and you drive. If you want to pull a trailer, A, you're going to go a lot slower. And B, you got to pack like everything. You got to haul all that shit out of your house into your trailer. Which falls into the line with what you don't want, and that is a hassle. At this point in time, I think you are making the right decision. And I am Team Jason. I am not with Team Stacy. Jason adds, easy. You said you got a quote from Mr. Roof. And then Jason says, I've heard they are pricey. All marketing and fancy. I urge you to get another quote or two. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that. Because, just like you, I don't want the fucking hassle. I got this guy, bangs on my door. It says, easy. He tells me something that I know, which is easy. The roof is a pile of shit. 20-year roof, and it's on year 27. It has to be redone. Yes, that I know. But I don't know if I want to lift any more finger than I am right now. I am actually comfortable with the quote that I got. All right? I might do that. I don't know. Also, Jason Bennett says, I struggle to trust a guy that has a last name as a first name. It's like someone with 3 first names. Bennett is a last name all day long. The guy that came to my door, his name was Bennett. I highly recommend, and he gives me a name from some construction company. We used to live in the same neighborhood. He has Mexican crews that have been with him for years. He pays his guys very well because they do great work, and he doesn't have to provide them lawn furniture with his logo on them. In my old neighborhood, his crew did 2 standard Jennison homes in one day. One was a complete tear-off, and the other was just a second layer. I referred to him to 2 people, and they both were very, very happy. Why am I talking so much? He says, I'm generally very wordy when I get going. You'd be amazed at all the shit I usually want to email you and don't because I get distracted. Well, thank God. Hell, you should see the shit that I email the great Stu McAllister. He is so awesome. Okay, come on now. That's just ridiculous. Ugh! My work punished me because I suck at my job. They sent me to the city of Warren for 2 days. Boy, did I miss Jennison. Because of this, I missed my Tuesday at Bosco's. Do you think Doug hates me even more now? He writes. Then he says, Doug is so awesome. I get so pissed when you talk bad about him. So pissed, I want to go park in front of your mailbox. Luckily, I cool off. I think you're a psychopath, frankly. The way this email reads, you seem like someone who is mentally disturbed. He then writes, okay, I'm going to stop being weird. Maybe you will cut down on urging listeners to email you so you don't get this crap. I'd hate getting this crap in my email. Anyways, I highly recommend Brandon, just like I do Bosco's. Best regards, Jason. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the more you talk, the less chance that I'm going to reach out to your guy here, Brandon what's his fuck. Holy shit. Talking about Stu McAllister, Easy does not abuse his dogs, though. That's the thing. Stu has been accused of dog abuse. Megan says, wait, what is the guy's name? I need that for my standard Jennison home. No, I'm not. I am not giving you his name on the podcast. I'll email it to you. Let's see. Is Easy talking himself out of falling in love with the BFB, which is the big fraud bus? Look, right now, I hate that fucking thing. I hate the fraud bus. Rebecca says, side note, if you go to Mackinac City, don't ever stay in the hotels. They are all owned by one family, and they are ruining them. They don't take care of any of them. Well, that's easy to say. You got to stay somewhere, right? At this point in time, I'm going to attempt to bring in Kyle from a company that used to market themselves on the podcast. I'm going to try to do this without making the microphone sound like shit, which has been a struggle for quite some time. I am hoping and praying that there will be an opportunity to get some shit done around this studio technically in the next week. As I see this, I say hello to Ryan. We haven't seen or heard from Ryan in quite some time. I don't know why, but for some reason I am reminded when I see Ryan. That's really weird that I would be reminded of this. About our beloved President Trump. We haven't seen or heard from him in a while. Right. Okay, now I started the day having this microphone working, and now it's not. hear that. Someone said, "Oh shit, my ears," and now I got a God fucking damn it. I think I just hurt everyone's ears. I got one that says, "You just raped my ears with sound." I got yikes. I got God fucking damn it. I'm not sure why that was.
It's like as soon as they announce Big Fraud Zane, it's your favorite president, Donald Trump, calling, which is sad, actually, because it's like as soon as they announced Cackling Kamala, workshopping it, I think it's going to stick. Cackling Kamala. You don't call anymore. You don't tweet me. You don't direct message me. My people, they say they don't hear from Big Fraud Zane anymore. Terrible. I thought we had a great relationship building, and it's like you don't call, you don't do anything, which is so sad because people, they come up to me, they say, "What happened? What happened to that poverty shack jock you were making nationally famous? I could have made you a star, Big Fraud, but you're like poverty shack jock. You talk to 10 people on the internet or whatever it is you do." I don't care. The thing is, I like you. I like your temperament. I think you've got a great temperament. I've always said that. People, they say, "You want to steer clear of Big Fraud. He's a piece of shit." And I said, no, I think this guy's got real opportunity, which is why when I win this November, which, by the way, we will never have to worry about electing a president again, because when I'm done with it, there will be no elections, Big Fraud. We're going to totally and completely do away with them. Repeal and replace elections. Great idea, actually. It's a waste of time. Nobody wants to vote. I say, let's never do it again. We don't have to. And I say...
Oops. What the fuck am I doing? I'm such an asshole. I'm fucking everything up. All right. So the wheels have kind of fallen off in the last handful of minutes. I'm not sure what happened with the sound. I think I hit a button, and when I attempted to, you guys all had like your earbuds in, and it was horrible. Something really bad happened, right? I don't know how to explain that. Okay. See, it sounds bad right now, doesn't it? Like the second I start talking. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to call them and hold it up to the microphone. We are absolutely in a state of flux when it comes to the sound of the microphone on this show. I'm very, very disappointed. Corey says your mic is hot. Check. Test. Hello, check. Yeah, I don't know. David in Hudsonville says, asshole of the day is your microphone. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Just to see all your comments about, God damn it, you sick son of a bitch, you blew our ears out. I am so sorry about that. I'm still going to bring Kyle in. I'm going to do it like this.
Zane's Dildos, how can I help you?
Hey, can I interest you in buying a dildo?
Yeah, but no, I'm trying to sell you a dildo, dude.
Okay, all right. Do you have a large collection of dildos at your home?
No, I know.
No, we don't either. We're not a big dildo family.
You know, yeah, some families are, some families aren't. You never know until you start asking them, I guess.
I mean, everything on my equipment's pretty much ruined anyway, but at the same time, if you start bringing dildos into the bedroom, what if she like prefers that over your ding dong?
It's a good question, and it's one of the questions that scares us all into even trying to delve into that realm.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you seen those? There's some machines that you can buy that are like thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, it's for sex stuff. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. You like those things that you gotta like fucking ride and stuff.
Yes,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Howard Stern has one. He people come in there and they like get on the thing.
Yeah, straight up, dude. I know. When I was like a young teen, like Howard Stern was always on like late at night, on at the weekends, and you'd always be like flicking through the channel, be like, oh, okay, let's see if there's anybody fucking smoking hot out here doing anything crazy. But that was like back in the fucking early 2000s when like the world was way more PC and like, or not PC, but like now like you can just fucking see tits anywhere you look, dude.
Oh yeah. That so when you were growing up, you had the internet pretty much from beginning to end, right? No,
dude. I was actually just talking about this with somebody. Like, fucking, I was born in 1989, so like for the first like the formative years of my life, like the world was like old school world. So I was like, we're gonna have fucking landlines, like that makes sense. We're gonna have big old fucking boxy computers that don't go fast. Like you're just like thinking of like all these things, and then like in an instant, in like whatever year it was, like the whole world just changed, and like now it's like cell phones. Like fuck landlines,
Yeah.
Your phone is a computer. I guess I wasn't ready for it, dude. So yeah, I did not have the internet. And we actually, maybe in like 5th grade, we got like remember like household computers?
Right.
Where, like you had like a computer for your house. Yeah, we got one of those, and I got like my own email address, and I was all fucking pumped up, and I'm like, I'm not sending anybody emails. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, the goddamn school would have one computer in the library. And you'd had to like sign up to use the fucking thing, and then that was that. And then nowadays, kids get like a MacBook. Like you go into the classroom, you get a tablet or a computer. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's actually funny. I was just reading a story. It was like a news article or some junk, but it was essentially how like when I was in high school, that was like when like like kids were getting cell phones, and like cell phones were becoming like a thing for kids, and like like the cool kids, like the kids that were fucking sweet, like they would just like whip out their cell phones in class and they get in trouble and stuff. But nowadays, I was reading that like people just have their phones out fucking all the time, and like they're always like texting, and like the teachers don't care no more. I guess I don't know if that's like true like everywhere, but I was like, dude, that's wild. Dude, people used to get fucking like hung for that shit when I was in high school.
Yeah, now there's talk about some schools, like some states, are going to ban cell phones in school, and one of the things that's keeping them from doing it is a safety issue. And it's crazy to think that what's holding it up is, well, what happens if someone shoots up the school? I mean, you want the kids inside to have a lifeline, and
that's a good point.
So I don't know.
I mean, it's a bad point, but a good point. You know what I mean? Like that you have to be like, like what if the school gets shut up? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Back not that long ago, that was just that'll never happen, and now it's like not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Are you considering, I may have asked you this before, homeschooling?
Oh, yeah, dude. I consider it like every day for like several hours in my head. I'm like, you know what? Like, it just would be fucking awesome. But like, I just like don't have like the means. Like how can I do the rest of the stuff in my life, but also teach them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's pretty fucking scary, frankly.
I know it's weird too that like schools is the place where the guns keep going. You know what I mean? Who chose that? You know what I mean? Like you could do malls, you could do fucking business centers. They're like we're going to the schools, dude. We're blowing these kids away. It's like, what, dude?
How would you feel if your kid was at school and there was like armed guards everywhere guarding the place? Would you be comfortable with that?
Like because there's a shooter, or like just on any given Tuesday?
Like every day of the year, every year they have armed guards, and then the school is like renamed to "We'll Shoot You in the Face Elementary."
Oh yeah, dude, I would be fucking. Yeah, I'd be like, no fucking way, dude. Like, that's a bad marketing concept. You know,
you don't like that?
Like, just to be like, yeah, like your kids would be safe, but like they're gonna think they're in prison. You know what I
mean? All right. So what else is going on? I've missed you for a short amount of time. It's been a little while since we've spoken. So what's new? What's hot? What's happening?
Yeah, were you like up north last week or something? You just forgot my ass.
Of course. Yeah, pretty much.
No. Yeah. So did I tell you about that? I went on a little quick mini vacation to Kalahari. Did I tell you that?
Kalahari.
Yeah, it's like by Cedar Point. It's like essentially it's like a resort thing, but like it's got like an indoor water park and an outdoor water park. It's for kids. But
okay.
They sell booze there and stuff, so it's all right.
Okay, yeah. Megan in the chat says she's going to Kalahari this weekend. In fact.
Oh shit, dude. Well, guess what? Then I'm gonna expound this now. This is what I've noticed, okay? And you can hopefully you can back me up on this. Although we were kids at different times, but I was a kid in the '90s, right? So you go to fucking like Michigan's Adventure or fucking Splash. Do you remember Splash? Were you around for that?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you lived somewhere else in the '90s, right? Like Tennessee or some shit.
Yep.
So just like water parks, you would go there and like, I know I was a kid, and like when you're a kid, like you're just like hornier in general or however you want to say that. Yep. But like you'd be walking around at these water parks and you'd be like, there's a lot of smoking hot chicks here. You know what I mean? Like you'd be like, but I mean like the ladies, like not like the kids, like the lady. You'd be like, yeah, people are looking pretty fucking good, dude.
Well,
nowadays, dude. No, dude, they're all like, there's no attractive people at water parks anymore, dude. They're just all like pretty, like just kind of fat people, dude.
Really? So
dude,
you would?
There's none of them. There's no attractive people left.
So even the young women are not. They look like a big fat pile of shit. Is that what you're saying?
Dude, it's like, I mean, like it could be like audience based, I guess, because like people are bringing their kids. Like if you have kids, like you're probably not got a bunch of time to work out or whatever. But it's still the problem remains that like it was happening in the '90s. There was still smoking hot ladies out there in the '90s. But yeah, now, dude, like you just be like walking around, like maybe you have a beer or something, and you just look to your right and you're like, ugh, gross, dude. You know, like it just is what it is.
I think
and I will say I will say that I am also kind of chubby, so I'm not saying that like I'm better than it. I'm just saying like I'm one of the fat people too, I guess is what I'm saying.
You know what's interesting is I think there's a trend nowadays, especially with millennial moms. They when they're in their youth, they don't have to worry about that, and then they get married, have kids, they get fat as hell, and then they get a second wind when they're in their 30s and 40s, and they like turn back the clock. Like if you were to go to anybody who's that age's Facebook page, it's like you can scan through the profile pictures and you see, okay, here's the youth. Okay, fat as fuck. Oh, okay, this is when they figured it out that they got to lose the weight, and now they look good again. You know, then they turn into that milfy type of vibe. So I think that attractive women have aged up. I think
what? Yeah. I can understand that assessment for sure. It's just that those once you do the glow up, I guess you just do not go to water parks after that. I guess is what's going on in America.
Well, and there was a lot more opportunities back when you were growing up in the '90s to actually move a little. Nowadays, all chicks do. Young people in general is they just don't move as much. They're willing to sit around a hell of a lot more, and they're a bunch of lazy fucks.
That's true. We're just on our phones. That's 100% true. But yeah, it's just that was like my big finding of my past week or two. I was just like, dude, what the fuck's going on out there, dude? You know.
Well, that's a very interesting observation. I'm glad you brought it up. Chris wants to know what is your huge prediction on our Lions this year?
Oh fuck, Eric Zane. You know, this is another thing I was gonna fucking talk to you about. So this is very crucial stuff, okay? and you would have to like go back, and you have like millions, you do episodes every day, so I don't know how the fuck you would ever look this up. But I cross-referenced this with some Chibian show footage because I've been watching a lot of it this summer.
Yeah.
And here's what the fuck happened, Eric Zane. Not this past year, but the year before that, which would be the year after the Lions were like really fucking shitty, but then they were like 3-13 or whatever.
Right.
That next year, you asked me that same question. You were like, "What's your prediction for the Lions?" And I said 9-8. And I didn't even think about that, but they fucking went 9-8 that year. And I found that on the Chibian show.
Wow!
Because I would have said the same shit. Then last year, I said I was like, you know what? I was like, my gut tells me they're gonna go 13-4, but like they'll probably lose one in there, so they'll probably go 12-5, and they fucking went 12-5. Eric Zane.
Holy
and
shit!
So I know, and I was like listening to this on the. I was like, holy fuck, dude! Like I kind of nailed these. And I'm okay. I guess I don't know if I said that on your show too, but I'm assuming I did. I feel like I wouldn't just say different records.
Right.
So I might be fucking good at this. So what my brain tells me this year, Eric Zane, I think we're going 14-3, baby.
That's awesome. But
yeah, I think it's going to be wild.
How about the playoffs? Because I picked them to win the Super Bowl.
Dude, we it's so fucking tricky in the playoffs, dude. But we gotta go to the Super Bowl, dude. There's no fucking way.
Yeah,
dude.
but you're not saying that. You're saying we have to. Are they going to win the Super Bowl or no?
Yeah. But I think for some reason, and I don't think it was you who asked me, but somebody else. I was like, I just feel like it's like a Lions-Bengals type year. You know what I mean?
All right, I got you down. I'll try to remember that.
For Lions-Bengals, and I think we're going to win 34-23 in the Super Bowl.
All right. Ryan writes, Kyle has reached the certain age where he shouldn't be looking at quote-unquote young women anymore anyway. He's crossing into the gross realm.
No, totally. So here's what I'm saying. I was not like scoping for
women,
right?
You were noticing.
Yeah,
no.
I was just like walking around and like using my eyes to navigate the area so I didn't trip on shit. And as I was doing that, I just happened to see just like a bunch of ugly people, I guess.
So you weren't like, oh man, let's go see some hot kids.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. And yeah, like when it comes to the kids, like I don't even fucking notice them unless they're fucking yelling. And then I'm like, get that fucking kid out of my face, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's just like, yeah, I wasn't out there like, yeah, let's see if we can fucking see some boobs, baby. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I was just out there just walking around, dude, you know?
You are what, 38?
35.
35, sorry, 35. Yeah, you know, I think if a chick is 28, you can say she's cute. But if she's under that, you're kind of starting to look like a pedophile.
No, you know, actually the funny thing is, like, how am I, this is definitely probably related to a little Asperger type stuff going on, like a little spectrum type stuff going on. I'm like the type of guy, like, and it drives like my wife crazy, and all women I've ever dated, it drives them crazy too. I don't understand it, but how my brain works is like, if I'm with somebody, and I'm married, so I mean I'm with somebody, like I just like my brain can just shuts out she'll be like, who do you like? My wife, like Blue will be like, who do you think's a hot celebrity? Like, who would you like? Who do you love? And I'm like nobody. Like, I don't give a fuck about them. Right. And she's like, come on, you have to pick one. And I'm like, no, like they're just not attractive to me. You know what I mean? Like I'm married to you, so like I'm not like fantasizing about like some celebrity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and even like just like regular people. Like if you just saw me out in public and like some smoking hot chick came up to me and was like trying to flirt with me, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, you'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You can even fuck them up by saying, I'm only interested in myself. I want to fuck me.
Yeah, there we go. There's a good little line ski.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got for you. Is there anything else you want to wrap up with?
I got to ask you one question, and the question I got to ask you is only related to, like, I don't know when this news story came out, so maybe you've already heard about it or talked about it. But did you hear about this fucking, this mayor in Georgia that, have you heard about this?
I don't know. Give me a little more, like, details.
Okay, so, yeah, and I don't have, like, a lot of details because you know me. But essentially what happened was he was, like, a mayor, I'm pretty sure, of, like, a city, and he fucking went to... like where like the prison crew was working, like cleaning up the side of the road or whatever, and he fucking like left them booze. Fucking like in the ditch so they could fucking like booze while doing the work. And so he got busted, dude. I think he like went to jail or something like that. I just didn't know if you talked about it yet, but I'm like, how fucking badass is that, dude?
Yeah, this is it. I'm looking right at it. Georgia mayor arrested on felony charges after storing alcohol in a ditch for inmates. Thompson Mayor Benjamin Carey Cranford faces charges of furnishing prohibited items to inmate. And I wonder why he did that. Is he just trying to be the cool mayor or something like that? Or
I know, dude. I just gotta the article that I saw was like not very long or expansive, so I didn't get like too much information. But I'm like, I gotta know the backstory. You know what I mean? Like, what like propels you to go like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go break the fucking law, dude, and get some fucking prison inmates drunk today. Dude, like I don't know like what you would have to do to end up in that situation.
Right. Yeah, I'm just kind of glossing over it as you talk. Yeah, I can imagine that people be pissed off, but I mean, what the hell? Who gives a shit? Fuck it, let them drink.
I know. I liked it because it just reminded me of like that. Just seems like it would happen in an '80s movie, like maybe like Smokey and the Bandit or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like just some shit. Like be like, you know what? Like let's just go like a Southern draw type guy. Like I need some booze. You know, like there's some shit. You know, it just cracks me up.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna kick you to the side of the road. I appreciate you as always.
Yeah, kick me into the ditch. I'll be drinking booze down there.
All right, get out of here.
All right, love you guys.
Love you too. Deuces. There you go. It's Kyle from a company who used to market themselves on the show. Ryan writes, this phone mic setup looks uncomfortable as hell. Big Fraud News Network may come back from the grave for this. Well, we would love that. That would be fantastic. Mason Blue is shocked that he went with the Lions taking on the Bengals. Maybe Joe Burrow. The Lions and the Browns. Yeah, I can't get behind the Browns. Come on. Ryan also writes, 34 and under is kid territory to me. Yeah, oh boy. I don't even like to think about that. I just want to, Pooh Bear and I just want to ride off into the sunset. Jeremy writes, quote, all moms are fat. Guy who used to market on this podcast. According to, now that was him, not me. I didn't say that. All right. I'm going to kick everybody out who's watching on Facebook and YouTube. Follow me on Twitch if you want to see the entire show.